Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint.com is now TradingCardMint.com. Please check out their selection of over 20,000 cards with prices cheaper than TCG Player.
What is up, YouTube? Hemiko here. So, we have a standard deck profile today for you guys, and it is New Age Genesis. Now, I do want to say, check out our friends at TradingCardMint.com down below. Check out Zero Damage Playmats if you guys love the fancy playmat here. Solemn does a fantastic job at coming out with new playmats literally all the time, and I will say that they're quite beautiful. And if you guys enter Hemiko on checkout on either the Zero Damage Playmats or TradingCardMint.com, you're going to save on your purchase. Also, if you guys are ordering on TCG Player, there's a link down below as well. Please do use it. It helps out the channel very, very nicely. So, please, if you can just take the extra second, click the link before you go crazy on your purchase, that'd be great. So, let's kick back, talk about Genesis. So, everybody and their mother with this deck, when we got the new support of the Astral Plane, everybody lost it. They were like, oh my gosh, the Astral Plane it's the future of the deck. And that very much could be the way we go in the future. Don't get me wrong. This guy is a great card. But we don't have enough searchability. And even in premium, it's a little bit of a lost cause in the moment, because as soon as you stride over your Vanguard, the Astral Plane closes. So there's really, there's no point in playing it. So we need to see in the future if we can close the gap with this and turn this into the superior build. Because as things stand, yeah, grade 5, yeah, 5 potential drive checks, but the issue you run into with this is it's a deck card that you're going to have to deal with in the main deck that you can't do anything with except, discard to, for a PG. So that's what my general understanding is of that. As we were digging through Japanese list and looking at a few things that we were doing, Himiko started to stick out as your go-to. You really have to understand that the triggers for this are what makes this good. Also, Keegan's been telling me that he's been playing this deck with Force 2. I'm like, really? So the idea behind this was you just slap Force 2 on your Vanguard, trigger Himiko, you get the power that you would normally get across the board, plus you can start threatening crits on crits. He was telling me there were some games where he's swinging for 4 to 5 crits. I'm just like, holy moly, my guy. Like, it's a very interesting concept. It might not be the most consistent method to go about it, but it is definitely there. So, we have 3 or 4 copies of Himiko, and she has the beautiful act skill that says, Soul Blast 5, put a critical or draw trigger from your soul on the bottom of your deck, and that trigger effect activates once up to 3 times, or basically up to the grade of your opponent's Vanguard. If your opponent's a grade 4, well, trigger it 4 times, go to town. But basically do this, you're like, okay, cool, let's go ahead and trigger that draw trigger I've got. All right, so you draw 3, give 10k, 10k, 10k. Or, you can go critical trigger and go crit, 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 along with all of the fun that you also want for this. It's actually, this card is quite interesting for that rundown of the matchup. So, yes, this card is very good at giving a nice little spin to this deck. Literally, all this deck needed was a little bit more, and it took them long enough, and we finally got it. So, we play 3 copies. This is one of the newer cards. So, when placed, Soul Charge 1 for each of your units, and that includes this guy, and that's for Vanguard Rearguard. So, in Standard, in the perfect world where you need to just start stacking in triggers, you got a full field. All right, cool, go ahead and call this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just go ahead and Soul Charge the world. Honestly, this deck is very quick to want to kill the opponent, especially when you've got things like this stacking, where you're like, okay, cool, multi-trigger soul charge. The value you get from this guy is very good. All right. Then I play 2 copies of this. Hey, look, at least it has the marker. So when placed, or excuse me, when it attacks a Vanguard, Vanguard boss 1, draw 2 cards, put a card from your hand into your soul. Well, considering that this whole deck is literally soul, 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 your Counterblast doesn't really get to be all that used. And you also, Himiko needs to get that trigger into the soul. Well, literally, when this swings at the Vanguard, you can go ahead and draw 2, tuck 1 in. So you got the draw trigger, you got the crit trigger. Sure, no problem. Just go ahead and get my immediate answer. So that's your 3s in a nutshell. Quite easy to cover pretty much all of the ground. Oh, excuse me, nope, there's one more. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is the OG one. So, when placed, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put 1 card from among them into soul. Put 2 cards from among them. So basically, 1 into soul, other 2 you go ahead and stack. So you're basically trying to be OTT at this point. You're like, oh, hey, nice soul. Let's go ahead and start manipulating that to our advantage. Or excuse me, nice top deck. So basically, you know what your 2 drive checks are going to be. You can plan accordingly. You're probably looking at the grade 3s like, this is rather toolboxy. I do agree. But alas, it gets the job done for what you need for this deck. Then, grade 2s. So, this is another one of the new ones. So when placed, look at the top 2 of your deck. Put 1 from among them in the soul. Put 1 card from among them on the top of your deck. So once again, and they really want Genesis to predict the future. And when it attacks your opponent's Vanguard, if it's grade 3 or greater, one of your Vanguards and this unit get 5k power to the end of the turn. Somebody say that Himiko wants to get bigger and pressure the opponent more. That's what I'm getting out of this. Huh. I'm digging this. This card is very good. Alright. Then we have 4 copies. This is another one of our new grade 2s that we got. So, when placed, Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Draw a card, and then get an imaginary force and put that marker on your Vanguard. Man. So, at grade 2, you can go ahead, just give yourself the force 2. You're like, alright, cool. Let's go ahead and start being aggressive. This is very good for Genesis. I can't wait to see when we start getting like grade 1s and start giving more gift markers. Oh man. Think about the aggression from Wise Man. Play 1 copy of this. This is the one that reduces your next Soul Blast by 2, and then you get to give 3k. It's also a 10k by herself. So I mean, hey, she uses one of your counterblasts you're not really doing much with. And then we play 1 copy of the Sneak Peek promo. And this is just Soul Blast 2. This unit gets 10k power. So, actually, this card is kind of useful because there will be games where you want to have a bigger beater on the field. And, yeah, you do use your soul quite a bit, but 20k for, like, final turn. Also, I don't know. I think that this is fine for being designed that way. So that's grade 2s. Grade 1s. We have the classic here. 4 copies of the Battle Maiden. So this is the one that your next Soul Blast is reduced by 3. This card is still very good for Himiko. Just turning your Himiko into a Soul Blast 2. And then we have 4 copies of the beautiful Witch of Cats coming. So it's 1 place, Counterblast 1, rest this, return 1 of your standing rear guards to your hand, and put the top card of your drop zone, or put a card from your drop zone into your soul. So, hey, that trigger you discarded, let's tuck it back on in, shall we, for additional value. Play 2 copies of this. This is one of the new ones that we got. So, Vanguard Rearguard, 1 place, draw a card, put a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. This is on Vanguard, you get to Soul Charge 2. At the end of the turn, this is boosted, Soul Blast 2, and this gets tucked back into your hand for future reuse. Quite good, actually. Then we have 2 copies of the beautiful Mill Your Opponent Out. So, when placed, Soul Blast 2, your opponent looks at the same cards from the top of their deck as the number of his or her rear guards, so calls them over their units. And then your opponent's units do not activate for their call effects. This card's nuts. Especially in standard. Then we have one copy of the new grade one. Just when placed, rest this. To the end of turn, one of your Vanguards gets 10k power and reduce your next Soul Blast you pay by 2. One of that is fine. Starter, Artemis. And then we have 6 critical triggers, 4 heal triggers, and 6 draw triggers, wrapping up our deck profile. So guys, check out our friends at TradingCardMint.com and the 0 damage playmats down below. Enter Himiko40 on checkout and save a little bit of money on your purchase. Alright guys, that's all I got for this video. Peace out.
That's not all, card fighters. Please subscribe for more Cardfight Vanguard content. Please remember to check out Himiko40 for Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and please check out ImcoGames.com, my store, along with No Limit Gaming, NLGTCG.com for all of your guys' trading card game needs as well. Until next time, guys, remember to hit that subscribe button. Later.